I came to return the ring you gave me. The ring you used to keep track of my every move. It's so obvious now, how you knew that I would show up to the headquarters, to the conference room full of people, cheering in fever because their investment had finally returned. And all it took was me falling for your stupid game. And you knew I would, because you believed me when I told you that I loved you. And I believed you when you told me that this ring hadn't been encoded. You made me believe that I could wear it without worry. I actually wanted to return it to you that night in the conference room after I walked in there to see the geoprojection and the map that showed you had been following me. Of course, you had to show this magic little map to the investors. And I can't say that I blame you. After all, this little ring is going to save the company, isn't it? Well, now, I'm glad I didn't give you back the ring that night. And I'm glad you got to see that I had gone over to Jack's house afterwards. He had invited me to the wrap party earlier when we were both at the antique store. But once there, I didn't stop once or speak to anyone else there. Jack was the only reason I was there. When I found him, I kissed him. And I straddled myself around him, my legs inching closer up the back of his thighs as he carried me into his bedroom. I bet your little magic ring didn't show you that. And I bet it didn't show you my tears after you smacked me across the face, shoved me out of your apartment, and left me crying in the hallway. I may have been your unpredictable little toy, Peter, but you were the real monster. So detached from everyone around you that you have to manipulate the world into thinking you're still human. And those shirts you hurled at me, still clinging to the wooden hangers as they toppled down my back, I gave them to 3 homeless teenagers on my way home. They didn't smile or say thank you, and I'm glad, because I never want to feel like I could buy people. Then the F train came, and I had to stop for a minute and wave to all those people who had no fucking idea where they were going. I'm sorry again about tossing your tie out of the penthouse balcony. And I'm sorry that I ever made you feel like I was only with you for your money. If you don't trust the man that you go to bed with at night, you wake up with really bad breath in the morning, Mr. Jeffrey once told me. Before he died, Mr. Jeffrey showed me another ring that had come into the antique store, all the way from Argentina. Around the ring stretched a neon violet light, so we knew that it had been encoded. However, not with the advanced technology to embed a geotarget in one's heart. No, this was a much more primitive version of your model. You could almost say that it was vintage. When I put the Argentinian ring around my finger, I saw that it contained only documents, decades old and in vernacular, anonymous letters written to all one's lovers. I'd read them all the night that Mr. Jeffrey died. Schooling myself in the traditional techniques humans use to explain themselves, to admit guilt, and most importantly, to apologize. The letters made me feel nostalgic for a time when words were all we needed to say I'm sorry. Next time, you should try embedding a lie detector into my brain. That way, we can keep a going tally of all the times that we've been dishonest with each other. But you want to know the real interesting thing about the letters encoded in this ring? They were never sent. I stayed up all night wondering if that mattered, and decided that perhaps not. Sometimes, the pure realization that we deserve better is the only resolution we're ever going to get. And at the end of the day, that's gotta have to be good enough. I found a hidden file after I finished reading the letters. Quickly I realized this file, filled with geographic coordinates, was actually encoded on the other ring I was wearing. The ring you gave me. The ring that kept you alert of all my whereabouts, of all the many times I snuck out of your bed before dawn. I should have stopped seeing you that night you hit me. All of this would have been so much simpler if you had just fired me then. But part of it was helpful. I don't think I could have gotten over the shame if I didn't believe I deserved the way you treated me. I guess a broken toy doesn't crave to be handled, but to be beaten. And I was always that thing in your life you knew you could just toss in the trash because in your eyes, I was already damaged. I'm sorry again, Peter, for giving you syphilis. See? Aren't I so much better at this whole apologizing thing? I'm sorry I was a terrible investment, and I'm sorry that to men like you, I will only keep deprecating. But I'm not sorry for going out and finding the affection you couldn't give me. It's like you were giving me reasons to feel so dirty and unworthy. And at times I feel stupid for the nights I spent next to you in bed, believing we would last forever. My journey, I know now, is to find the one who won't be bothered to keep me. I'm going to Argentina, and I'm searching for whoever wrote all these letters. I'm searching to whom they were intended, and I'm going to send them. Not because I think they're going to change someone's life, but because everyone deserves to know that someone once did love them. I hope the ring brings you good fortune, Peter. I hope that you take pride in piloting the surveillance of the century. But at the end of the day, I don't trust that you will sell this technology without a disclosure. I don't trust that you won't lie and tell the world that they're entitled to control other people. You may be able to see me moving, but that doesn't mean that you can stop me. And just because you know where I am now, does not mean that you have any fucking idea of where I'll be going. So consider this my resignation. Please let me know if you'll need it in writing. Thank you, guys.